We're here.
I wish I could get this feeling. I wish I could get this feeling. On the corner.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Corner Podcast. Kel Dansby here with the old man Andreas and Kel and producer Cole, baby. On the desk, if you guys are watching on YouTube, which you should be, you can see everyone here. It is fun. Producer Cole, baby, is here because we're, of course, talking wrestling. More specific, we're talking AEW. We're going to, I guess, recap the entire card that we just saw. One of the best pay-per-views, I mean, in recent memory from any company. So we're going to go up and down that card. A couple five-star matches, maybe. I mean, none in the Meltzer scale, but if they were in the Tokyo Dome, it would have been like 8 for a few of them. But we have all of that to talk about today. But first, we have to talk about and send our best wishes and a fast recovery to our brother Big E after he suffered an injury on SmackDown this past Friday. So all my wishes go out to E. Dre, I know I saw it first because you mentioned something. I went to social media, and unfortunately, I saw the clip. And first, let's just talk about E before talk about any other circumstances around this. How is he doing?
I mean, he's surprisingly in really good spirits.
The man's always in good spirits.
Yeah, which I told a few people. I mean, I'll kind of give the rundown of what I saw, what happened. So, you know, it's SmackDown's not live on the West Coast, so I had to watch it on tape delay. And the first thing that I saw earlier was Butch, which we'll talk about later.
Ridiculous.
Pete Dunne being turned to Butch. I tweeted about that. Then all of a sudden, my mention started getting flooded. Is E okay? What are you talking about? So before I did anything, I just texted E, are you okay? I didn't know what happened, and then somebody sent me the clip of Ridge Holland doing the belly to belly and he hit his head, and they, seeing him like that. So now I'm like, I text Kofi, is he okay? Nobody's responded. And now Twitter is like just going crazy. They're saying he's getting stretchered off. So I tweeted about it this morning, Saturday morning, where basically it's different. Like when we watch injuries on social media and people talk about injuries, it's one thing for us to watch it, but like that's my friend that's happening to. And I'm watching people tweet all kinds of crazy things, and I can't see what's happening. And all I can do is hope I can hear from somebody to find out if he's okay. So I finally talked to Emilio Sparks, and Emilio had talked to somebody, Nikki, and then Kofi texted me. And, they said he landed hard on his head. Kofi texted me, he's going straight to the hospital. I went to the hospital and found out he had what they thought was a broken neck. Fortunately, he's in Alabama where Dr. Andrews is, who works on everybody.
Yeah.
But it's a big I'm pulling back the curtain on a lot of stuff. I'm big shout out to Kofi because Kofi was like, he didn't have to do this, but he called me, he called Johnny, he called anybody that was important. Kofi was on the phone with him, right? The weird thing about all of this, for me, earlier that day, he had texted me, he was dropping Kofi off at the hotel. I forgot what we were just talking about, something random. And he was just like, yeah, me and Kofi were just talking about you, right? And then, so when Kofi calls me, he's like, yeah, we're rotating in and out. Woods is here. He's fine. He's like, he can move his hands. He can move his legs. He'll be okay. They're just trying to find out if he needs surgery. And I'm like, appreciate it, Kofi. Thank you for calling me. Because everybody's scared. You're not there. You're just wondering if he's going to be okay. If a broken neck is, there's nothing to mess with.
At all.
And Kofi's just like, yeah, so me and E were talking about you every day. And he started talking about my wife. He was like, I heard your wife passed the bar. This is just how Kofi is. Like, Kofi's a very, how are you doing? Is everything okay? And I'm like, wait, how are you doing? Like, you're there. Like, that was your match. Kofi didn't see it happen. So Kofi was alert. I think the ref told him that they were taking E off. Like, he took the L in the match.
Yeah.
So he was just like, it was just scary for me. And I'm just asking him, like, are you okay? He's like, nah, I'm good. He was like, the good thing is, like, he's over here cracking jokes. That's just how he functions. And he texts me, he's like, I'm all right. Love you, bro. And that was it. And I texted Emilio and I texted Johnny. I was like, I guess he's all right. But for that moment in time where the world is speculating on what's going on with somebody that you're very close to, and people are asking me, is he okay? Dog, I don't know. I'm here. I'm in Vegas. I'm watching it like you guys are. But they discharged him this morning. I mean, the reason why I can talk about this is because he's tweeted it down. I didn't want, I didn't want to speak out of turn on a lot of this, but this charge him. He's just got 2 fractures in his vertebrae, no surgery. He'll be down minimum 6 to 8 weeks. That's just till he gets the brace off. Then some rehab and recovery. Hopefully he'll be back to work the next 3 months or so. But he's back in Tampa, so it's like he's fine. And he's E, so he's just basically like, yeah, I've been hurt worse before. I was like, are you in any pain? He was like, no, not really. I just got this brace on. Basically, what Kofi told me is that he completely managed to avoid the worst case scenario, right? Like this could have been really bad. Fortunately, he's got a big ass neck that could absorb that impact. So he's got the 2 fractured vertebrae, and obviously he won't be at WrestleMania this year. He may show up. You never know what Vince does with guys. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Talking to people all night. It was hard because I'm like, I can't see. I couldn't watch SmackDown. I skipped it. When it finally came out, I tried to watch it this morning. I was like, I can't watch this. Yeah. I seen the replay enough, and people are weird on Twitter, and they're talking about whose fault it is. I'm like, dog, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly do not care whose fault it was. I just want to make sure my friend's okay. Y'all can talk about Rich Holland should be fired. Look, man, Booker T hurt Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
He's fine.
No one got to be fired.
No.
I think this is on my end of things because as soon as, I talked to you last night, you're like, all right, he's good. Worst part averted.
Yeah.
And then, but this is a microcosm of, and I think Lance Storm has said this before, the talent is too green in too many areas there. And I understand what they're trying to do, but at a point, it becomes unsafe for talent. This was just a small sample size of that because very few of these green people have really reached the main roster so far and being bumped up so quickly. But we see this all the time in NXT now.
Well, NXT is
super green. We just saw someone get dumped on their head not too long ago, and then, the signal was thrown up. They had to get taken out. There was, in a women's match like a week ago, a huge crisis averted because a woman was caught after just being launched outside of the ring.
Yeah, Raquel Gonzalez.
Saved this chick's life. So there's all of these little moments now, and a lot of times they're trying to have veteran talent work young talent, but it makes it safer for the young talent. It doesn't necessarily make it safer for the veterans.
Well, here's what I'll say. I'll take my friend hat off for a minute. Put on my wrestling hat. This spot was totally unnecessary. A belly-to-belly from Rich. Rich Holland's not Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
It's not like Big E's like 200 pounds and you can throw him and he's just going to flat bump on his back. Rich Holland's a big dude, but I've never seen him do a belly-to-belly on anybody. So why is this spot happening on a SmackDown that's pretty inconsequential as we head into WrestleMania? It's dangerous, and it was unnecessary at the time. Talent being green, NXT has a bigger problem than the main roster.
Rich Holland had 3 matches in NXT before he got called up.
Yeah. Accidents happen, right? It's just the spot is more concerning than anything else. It's not like Rich Holland can do a lot of things. A belly-to-belly on E on the outside of the ring,
a little tough.
Probably not the spot you want to pull off. A little dangerous, right? Like, I don't know. Again, I don't know who the agent was for the match. I haven't asked E none of that. Like, I'm sure we'll talk more. Yeah, right now it doesn't matter. We just been talking about him and everything else. But it's just a weird spot to see. And NXT has a problem with green talent. I seen Rich Holland people calling for Rich Holland's head. It's unnecessary. It's just when the matches happen, just certain things you don't need to do. Like Brock Lesnar doing a shooting star press probably wasn't a good idea against Kurt Angle, right?
Didn't try it again.
No, accidents happen. Yeah. This was an accident. We'll move on. Fortunately, crisis averted. People are going to be all right. But I think that green stuff is really happening in NXT, where you're seeing a lot of talent who hasn't worked on TV getting thrown into the fire. And now it's like they're trying to show out.
Yeah.
And they're doing really dangerous things that can get people hurt. And if anybody who doesn't follow Lance Storm, you should. Because Lance Storm points these things out. And if anybody understands wrestling and how to be technically sound in the ring, it's Lance Storm.
Yep.
Right? Lance is a friend of mine. We talk about a lot of this stuff offline often.
Friend of the podcast.
Lance Storm. Lance
To the
he's a
Corner
great
Rumble.
guy.
Corner Rumble participant.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. But when he sees things, like I think there was a powerbomb spot, and I'm not gonna put him too much on blast, but he had messaged me, and he was like, "See, what's wrong with this spot is he's not looking before he powerbombs, and he doesn't realize that his ass is coming before his head, so he can't brace for impact." And I'm like, Lance could point all these things out. Like, I couldn't even see that. But he was like, clearly I could tell it upsets him. Because it's like, you shouldn't be doing these moves. Somebody's going to get hurt. And what are you doing them for? So, Ridge, I don't know. He's had a lot of work in the PC. He's had a lot of work. It was just a bad spot. Couldn't figure out. I mean, maybe just wasn't strong enough to get EO all the way over. It's just a SmackDown.
You know, and there's differences between doing that in the ring, doing that outside of the ring.
I mean, dude, for all intents and purposes, Madcap Moss just took a similar bump with Drew Mack in Saudi Arabia, and he's
also
fine.
not good,
Yeah, it's not, but I'm just saying, like, talent,
that looks shaky, too.
things happen. Like, wrestling is wrestling. People are going to get hurt. So, yeah, I mean, Rich probably shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is.
It takes two to tango for any of these moves, right? And if you're trying something brand new that you haven't really done on TV with any other performer, let alone let's just go ahead and stick the difficulty level up to expert. Big E's a big dude. Yeah. Like, it's asking for things to go wrong when they don't need to go wrong. It's unnecessary risks. And again, like, it could it have gone way worse? Absolutely. But obviously, you know, it's really grateful that, like, all of a sudden we've seen already 2 videos from him in the hospital just with the Big E smile on his face.
I can't take it.
It's wild. I tell you what, it's
lives the power of positivity.
Big E, and what's crazy about, like, Big E is kind of knowing who he is and, like, knowing his character, at least, you know, kind of vicariously through you guys. And, like, I had already heard those stories early on. Shout out to Tony Luffman, who works over at, or was working at the NHL. Big E was his best man at his wedding. So, like, I knew about, like he's like the Kevin Bacon of wrestling. There's like 6 degrees of separation somewhere, right? Where you're going to hear a Big E story and about how, like, Big E is this amazing personality and he just constantly lives up to it. And, you know, when you see the videos of him smiling in the hospital, it's just like, you just know that that's just him. That's just how he's going to handle these things. And it's amazing news that it's not anything more serious than what it is. And I mean, I just hopefully we'll get to see him back on his feet soon.
Yeah, he has some time to play Elden Ring.
He's not playing no.
He has a bunch of video games that he doesn't play.
Nah, he has like 3, and it's like UFC, EA UFC, which he plays like every day when he has time. He played it all like during that, but he isn't. He plays like NBA 2K and he sucks at it. He watches a lot of TV, so it's like that's what we do.
I need to ask him for his gamer tag.
Yeah, like,
because I suck at NBA 2K too, so like we can just play.
No, he'll play.
Dude broke his neck and you're trashing his 2K game.
He knows he's trash.
Okay, fair enough.
He knows he's trash.
I suck at the UFC game though. I really suck at. The
He's
UFC.
not bad.
I'm not good at the.
He beat me a couple times. We were playing one day, and I was like, "All right, this isn't fair." He was like, "But I play this all day." Like, you know, like you really do. He really wakes up. He's weird. He'll go to sleep at like 7 p.m. Right, yep. My time. I'm like, "You're asleep?" He'll wake up at like 3 in the morning. It's like midnight, and he's texting me. I'm like, "Why are you up?" Going to do some squats. I'm like, "All right." You're a grown man who does this shit. Like, I don't know.
Early morning workouts.
Crazy.
All the time.
Crazy.
Even here in Vegas. I'm like, yo, why are you up at 5 a.m. working? Like,
that's what, I mean, it's just what he does. I know he's going to be frustrated because he clearly can't work out for a while now.
Yeah.
Because of the neck injury. But the one thing is, like, talking about him being positive, when the video came out and he had texted me, and Kofi called me, and I said, Kofi, his positivity is scaring me because I don't think if something was wrong, he would tell anybody.
Yeah.
And Kofi's like, no, he's all right. He's telling jokes as we were walking in and out. But he was like, but we got clearance from the doctor that he's good. So it's not like he's faking the funk, but he doesn't want anybody to be worried about him. The one thing I did notice, and I was talking to a few other people, like Amanda Huber, Brody's wife, widow. Damn, it's crazy to still say that. We were talking, I was just like, you realize the craziest thing watching is how many people love Big E.
That was so crazy. The Twitter mentions were nuts.
I did an ESPN story on it.
I'm looking.
People get hurt every day in wrestling.
Yeah, and I'm just looking, and I'm like, yo. And I told him, because, he texted me back, and I was like, you don't have to hit me back, because I know, like, not just your mentions, but your text messages. Like, there are people that, he's one of the most beloved figures in just pro wrestling. Nobody ever has anything. AEW's tweeting, like, Powerhouse Hobbs and, like, Jim Ross, like, all these people are tweeting at him. And I'm like, he doesn't get it sometimes. I mean, he does. He's just like, I'm glad. He got a little emotional, because he was like, damn, all these people care. And what makes me think? And I was like, that's why he should be the champion. like, I get it. Like, it's a business. It is what it is. But
his push when he comes back,
I mean, we don't know.
Better be because you can't ignore this, though.
You can't, but you can if you're Vince, right?
No. Like, at this point, you even can't. Like, he got injured that way. Like, he needs to have, like, the Triple H coming back from, what the hell did he tear before the Royal Rumble?
To his quad.
His quad, yeah. Like, you got to have that, like, oh, my God, he's back moment.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know what's going through.
When that Wale music hits, though, it's over.
But it's just the fact that all these people, that he never has an enemy. Pro wrestling is such a carny business where people are like, they're just awful to each other. And, they're just awful people. And we'll talk about CM Punk in a minute, because I have a lot to say about what people have been saying about CM Punk. But we'll get to that later. But he's very different from Punk, where he goes out of his way to make people feel welcome and comfortable. And I tell him that all the time. I'm like, yo, you're a WWE superstar. You're part of the New Day, one of the biggest merch sellers in the history of the business. You guys were rated the greatest tag team of all time. You're now a former WWE champion. You don't have to do all this. But that's who he is. He can't help it. He's just that guy. And like he tells me, he's like, I'm living a blessed life. And, the one thing he did say, he was like, well, I can make all the Wednesday calls for Our Heroes Rock now, because we have Wednesday calls where we go over animation now. Like, we're and we both weren't able to do this last Wednesday call. And he had texted me, he was like, I guess I'll be on all the Wednesday calls for the next few weeks. And I was like, turns lemons into lemonade, man. There's nobody like him.
Nah, man. So, yeah, wish him the speediest of recoveries and just the best of recoveries. I mean, the man needs some time off. He was flying here, there, everywhere. Like, this is also time for his body to recover, to be at home, to rest, to check out other endeavors, all that good stuff, and then come back rejuvenated. And sometimes, there's the saying for a reason, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And I think we'll see that from the WWE universe and from everyone else. And he happens to be one of the best talkers in the business. So I'm sure even before he's cleared for in-ring, once that stupid dog collar is off his neck, because he looks like a Rottweiler.
He looks uncomfortable.
He just had his ears clipped. Like, the thing's like super high and he can't move.
Yeah.
Once he's out of that, I'm sure he'll definitely be on the mic or back to appearances, other places, and all that good stuff, because he's one of the best in the business at that. So, yeah, great to see that he is healthy and rolling in that regards. But we got to talk regular pro wrestling. Now that that is to the side, let's take our break, come back, dive right into AEW, because that's why we're having the show today. Before this happened with E and everything, our plan was come in here and recap the entire AEW pay-per-view. And it's going to take a second, because one thing with that shit was a marathon. It felt like forever, but it was a great forever this time, so I'll let it rock. I can't wait to see what they do coming Double or Nothing here in Vegas. We're all hyped for that. So you guys don't go anywhere. We're talking a ton more pro wrestling when we come back. All right, everybody, we are back. Time to talk pro wrestling, which is different than what we were talking during the break.
Why did you do this?
No, it's all right. But Dre made me
wanted to go right
off.
under the bridge, and then he just took it right over.
Yeah, no, you cut me
You can't
off
cry
in the
about
middle
the
of my
Yankees.
baseball
Here
rant.
it is. You can't cry about the New York Yankees roster. You can't.
I can. We're in a drought, Dre.
You're not.
We're not treating.
You're
it
in a
like
self-contained.
I mean,
drought.
they are in a little bit of a drought.
13
Just one little ring for 20 years, and hold on, I'm gonna.
It's the longest I've gone in my
2004,
lifetime without winning a championship.
2007,
Yeah.
2013.
It's the
I feel like I'm forgetting one. Oh, there is a fourth. Yeah.
the longest I've gone in my lifetime without winning a championship.
That's so sad. You know how many teams have never won a championship?
Too bad in their struggle franchises.
Well,
I'm a Yankees fan.
Guess what? Your franchise is part of that now.
No, there's no reason we should struggle.
A complete underachieving squad. That's where the Yankees are now.
I want to be the Dodgers. I want to spend
You're
money
not.
frivolously.
You're not. You're the Yankees. Y'all got Aaron Judge. You got
Oh, I love Judge.
Gleyber Torres.
Who will be better at second base?
You guys got Giancarlo Stanton. You got Garrett Cole, and you over here crying? DJ LeMahieu.
I want
y'all
more.
crying?
You know how I play the show. I can't wait for the show to come out.
I know you can, but as of right now, where do the Yankees end in the AL this year?
Where we always end, Dre? Second. We're
Think so?
always second.
Second
Last
to
year
who?
we were third.
Third sounds pretty delightful to me.
I mean,
Toronto's
but-
going to be a problem this
Yeah,
year.
I mean, we're always like a wild card team now, which is ridiculous. The Red Sox aren't going to be the Red Sox. Like, so throw that out. Sorry, Cole. Throw them out of here. But I think Toronto wins it. We'll be second, battling with Tampa. Red Sox will miss
Go ahead,
everything
Cole.
entirely.
That's for you.
What?
Last year was an
Boston got
anomaly.
Jackie
You
Bradley
guys should have been
back too? Y'all
y'all
got
should
Jackie-
Yeah, we did. We're getting the band back together. Now we just need Benny. Get Benny back. Benny
No.
biceps.
Y'all
And
should've sucked.
yeah, we're not getting Moogie Betts back. That's not. That's
Yeah.
But we got Doogie. It's all right. It's all good. Verdugo's great. I love him. So we just need Schwarber back.
Everyone
I need Kyle
overachieved on
Schwarber.
that team last year, and it was ridiculous. It's
I
not
mean,
happening
you
again.
know, we a good manager, you know,
Yes,
and
yes.
just
I am
you know
envious of that.
players that just get hot at the right time, and you know,
all bad.
just a better baseball city. What can I say?
And I got a guy who swings and misses at everything. He hits 180.
Hey, you know, if they get rid of that shift, Joey Gallo's going to strike out just as much.
Oh, my God.
So, you know,
Hurts my
Joey,
heart.
go ahead and hit that ball. I can't hit a 90-mile-an-hour ball, but I don't get paid millions of dollars to do it. So I can criticize you.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That's my
So
role,
anyway,
and I'm sticking to it.
That's what we were talking about during the break. Dre cut me off, so I'm glad I got some mic time for that. But speaking of this, it jogged my memory. MLB The Show. I can't wait for that.
He's
to come
already
out.
traded for Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout.
Every time.
He's already traded.
Free Ohtani. Yes, I want
What do you
Ohtani.
need free Ohtani? He just got there.
The Angels suck. They're never winning anything.
I mean,
Free Ohtani.
he
And
is-
not to the Dodgers.
And not to the Yankees.
He
So
ain't
relax.
Going to, he ain't going to White Sox.
Chill out.
Nonetheless,
Chill out.
when we're talking about MLB The Show and how much I'm going to enjoy doing all these fantasy trades, I noticed, and I forgot to put this in our group chat yesterday, you got a little bit of the Kel Dansby syndrome when it comes to WWE 2K22.
How so?
You started moving people around. You've done all of these things
stop. You
to
can
create
stop.
AEW
You can stop.
within the game.
Here's where I stop.
You're playing the game exclusively as AEW.
Here's where I stop you. I don't have a team in WWE 2K.
Your team is AEW.
No, I play with Raw, SmackDown, and I put legends on each roster. So I'm playing the game. I'm not playing to win with a certain team like you do as the Yankees. I'm just making sure I can have Randy Savage.
I play within the rules.
No, you play within some really crappy rules to bolster your team. You mortgage everything up front so you can get this loaded team.
I keep some
And
good
then-
prospects. A
But
few
there's
of them.
no hardship. We argue about this all the time. There's no like you have no struggle in winning the World Series as those Yankees.
No, I said other goals. Like I want to have a perfect month where I don't lose it all.
What fun is
Oh,
that? That's like
It's
the
very fun.
I can't play. If y'all play games, I can't play games. I like a challenge. You would hate Elden Ring. You
I
would
would.
hate it
I
because there
would.
ain't no cheat. You can't go and just get the best sword in the game. You're just gonna die a lot, and you're gonna be mad
I
a
also
lot.
don't like
General
games that
Radon
I'm-
not going to kill himself. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't like games where I'm
It'll
not
take Cole
good at
40
them
times
right
to
away
do it.
either.
See, you don't like to work.
Not in video games.
Hey,
like,
Kim
I'm not.
you know what Kim Kardashian said? So y'all better get to work. Get your ass up and get to work. Like me.
Nobody likes to work.
Kim K just looking down on me for my video gaming skills, huh? That was aimed at me. It was a sub by Kim K.
Oh,
Yo, Kim K-
shit.
You got slandered by Kim Kardashian. Said you don't like to work. Get
Yeah.
up and work, Kel.
Yeah, I was but aside about WWE 2K22, I'm really enjoying when the wrestlers are pro tweeting out, or the pro wrestlers are tweeting out when like their like GM guy is telling them not to put them in a match. So it's like Tyler Breeze, I think, tweeted out like, "Don't put Tyler Breeze in a match." It's just like, damn, okay, gotcha, all right, no problem.
See, WWE 2K is actually, it's a fun game.
I'm glad to hear it's good.
It's-
It's been a while since there's been a good WWE video game out there in the market.
My only real qualm with it is even on legend difficulty, I still haven't lost a match. I haven't played a ton of them. But if I put it on legend,
They can only counter you so much.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
You're a weird guy. Like, you want to lose.
I want a challenge until I play Elden Ring, and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
You can do it.
This, the old
Trey,
man
I believe
game,
in you.
when you got to win the
gonna do it.
game at 75 years old.
Yeah.
Every time you die, you get older. Like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
we're-
Sifu? Yeah. I still got to go back and finish that. I'm still on the last boss. But
you love
I like a
losing in
challenge.
games.
I like to feel like my winning is earned. You don't like to earn winning.
I just like to win.
You like being gifted victories.
No, I'm not gifted victories.
I like to win. I like a hard. Like when you finish stuff in Elden Ring,
You
how
still
satisfying
gotta
is it,
play
Cole?
the game.
Oh my gosh, it feels. I literally the Radon fight, which is like going around the internet, is like it's unbalanced. It's all this, and I beat him. I literally like stomped around my room, like I just hit a 3 in the Boston Garden, just go, let's go, like you know,
Solid game,
like that's just what it is.
I like that. Like remember,
Boston Garden.
I don't know
You're
if you
just
remember.
Boston through and through, Cole. It's horrible.
Oh, that is the Garden.
Ah,
No, we're not talking about that other one. We're not talking about that other one.
but then-
Everyone, this may be Cole's sole appearance on the desk.
but see, I like.
I mean,
challenging
hey, you
games.
guys can throw me over the table again, okay?
Yeah, see,
sure.
like when Ninja Gaiden first came out, everybody talked about how hard
Oh
that game
my
was.
God,
Stupid hard.
I finished it in like 2 days.
look at this guy.
Like Seafood, everybody talked about how hard that was. I was about to find out, and the only reason I'm finished is I stopped playing because other games came out. I'm gonna finish that game. I'm a completionist. I finish games. Elden Ring is the hardest game. Not even the hardest, the most frustrating, because when you lose, when you die in the game, you're pissed off because you kind of saw it coming, and you couldn't figure out what to do, and now you got to pay for it because you got to go back and do it all over again. That's the most frustrating thing about Elden Ring. It's like, I knew that he was going to do that combo because that pattern is coming and you know it. And you're like, I know he's going to hit me with this ranged attack. I know it. Why didn't I block? Well, now I'm dead. And now my souls are next to him. I'm going to get these souls
Good luck.
back. Yeah, and I was like,
You gotta burn a run getting them, and then he's like, "Oh, I hit you. Oh, you're dead."
you got to be patient. That's another thing. I have a hard time being patient with certain games.
You know I'm not patient in anything.
Clearly, because you train everybody.
Anything.
But that's you. And we got to talk about pro wrestling. This you getting me off on a
We're
tangent.
talking about WWE 2K for a second. You like the game, though, right?
I like the game. I don't know how
gotta
long
check
I'm
it
gonna
out.
play it. My 2K tolerance is very. I buy it every year. I didn't buy 20 because 20 was bugged to hell. I buy it every year. I play it for literally 3 weeks, and it's right before. It's usually if it comes out in March, it's right before the show comes out.
Okay. Oh, and then it's
Everything's like I play. This is how I play sports games. September NBA 2K comes out. I play it when the season starts. I never play a game before the season starts. I can't. I need to have the exact roster.
Yes, you are the worst.
And then the show comes out usually a month before the season starts. I'm finishing up my 2K season, which usually doesn't. I never finish that game. Too many goddamn games. Then the show comes out, and I play it. Then I see Madden, and I'm like, "You're not gonna get me this year." And I keep playing the show. And then somewhere like a UFC or a WWE game, they got like a 3-week window with me, because then, especially right now, it's way too many video games. It's just way. I just bought Triangle Strategy on the Switch.
Ghostwire Tokyo's coming out in a couple weeks.
I'm not buying it. I can't. You're not gonna get me this time.
No, I won't. I won't get you on that. I had to get you on Elden Ring.
You did. You got my Elden Ring, but Tiny Tina's Borderlands.
Oh, sure.
I'm getting that. Borderlands is one of my favorite games.
Always looks super fun.
I saw
Brian
big
is
fist
a
bump.
fan
Yeah.
of Borderlands.
Borderlands.
Also,
Borderlands is
also
incredible.
shout out to Brian, who's handling it in the control room today, and is also we are constantly talking Elden Ring and we're trying to get through this all together. There you go. There you go. So we're all battling it through it together, Kel.
Yes. I'm surprised you guys had time to watch AEW because it seems like that game is very timely.
Well, it's either that or I'm here, so it's one or the other.
Elden Ring
Elden
or
Ring
the
are here.
studio.
But made time for some AEW because
Cole
was
lives the
amazing.
best Vegas life ever. He is literally at home.
I am always at the win. What can I say?
Yes. He is in studio or at home in his room playing Elden Ring. Pool's open shortly, Cole. There's like a day club here. Like we can like chill.
I'm sorry. Does that require the sun? Is the sun out there? I don't know. The sun. I'm scared of it. What can I say? I gotta go back in to sleep back in the control room.
That's right, man. We get you some sunscreen. You'll be right out there hanging out.
You got an Xbox out there?
Yeah. yeah.
You got to get a cabana and hook up Elden Ring.
No, there's too many games. Like it's not just Elden Ring. It's Horizon Forbidden West.
Haven't even touched that.
Like I said, I just got my Triangle Strategy on the Switch. Xbox. I still haven't finished Halo. Forza, Psychonauts. What else? There's like a million games right now. Borderlands comes out at the end of this month.
I am getting a Switch this month though.
Yeah,
I got my son the new Pokemon Arceus or whatever.
Yeah, I don't play.
It's like open world. I gotta play it with him.
Yeah, so there's that. Let me see. What else am I playing? WWE 2K. I'm still trying to play NBA 2K, which I'm never going to finish that game. Then the show comes out in just a few weeks. And then I got a backlog of games.
You only play one season in NBA 2K?
Yeah. I don't have time. There's
Like
other
career
games.
mode. Like you can go deep. You go years.
I know, but I don't really simulate games.
But
either.
this is off on tangent to start this show. Because I also hate how you play sports games in regards to you try to play it like along with the season.
Yes.
And I'm like, yo, that just takes forever. You're only going to play one season.
That's it.
So, like, if we're in July, people, like, he'll be in July in his game. And if the White Sox trade someone, he will have to make the exact trade.
Oh, no, I stopped. Look. This is really dumb we're talking about this on the rest of the show. But in MLB The Show, if I get to the trade deadline before the trade deadline happens, I stop playing. Because I have to make all the trades. I literally sit there and make every single trade, or else I can't play it. I get frustrated if like last year's version, Ohtani didn't play as a two-way player, and it drove me nuts. Because I'd try to insert him in the lineup, and the computer would take him out, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's your best hitter besides Mike Trout. But if you trade for a minor, I call up minor leaguers, I manage every roster. I have to play like the season plays. I have to. And I get pissed off because if the White Sox trade somebody good.
Yeah, when you guys were sellers, like, in 2017.
Losing Sale
like,
and all, I was just like, all right, I'm looking at my team. I'm like, what am I doing?
It's like, I got to keep playing.
But I still play with that
for
team.
what? Yeah.
I still play with that Hey, it's just how I roll. I got to keep it consistent, baby.
It's like it's sports game OCD. I respect it. I do. I really. That takes commitment.
But then
before
we're on such opposite ends of how to play sports games. Like, we're on opposite ends of a lot of stuff on this
and it's
show.
actually a good like desk formation because I fall somewhere in the middle.
Like, we're always on opposite ends of a lot of topics.
I love wheeling and dealing, but I also like developing prospects. And, like,
Yeah.
trying to get good draft picks. I do it in the NHL games all the time. Although this year's NHL game was kind of
I heard it was kind of booty.
it's kind of whack. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about MLB The Show, and I'm done with this, I'm so happy they got Ryder and those guys from Operation Sports to actually do the rosters because that was like
We
Christmas
waited.
for me.
Yep.
I would wait and then Ryder tweet, rosters out, that trading, putting up, like everything will be right. Now they actually handle it and it's so much better. As you guys can see, I obsess over baseball. No other sport do I do. I do this with NBA, but the NBA is kind of what the NBA is, right?
Yeah.
You trade a player, he averages 20 a game. He's going to go somewhere else. He's probably still going to average 20 a game. Baseball is completely different. Baseball, anybody can blow up at any given time. Hot and cold streets, 162 games.
I do love, like, the Ryder rosters because I love, like, having my actual A players.
Yes.
Yes.
You get an
single A,
injury, you
double
call
A,
them up.
double.
Oh, feels good.
Yeah, it really does. That changed the way I played. Like,
And that's the
before
other thing,
knowing you, I was like, what? And then you're like, no, you got to
You
wait.
have to see it.
So I would buy the game and then wait until May because I couldn't even start anything. Like, no, I need the exact rosters for years.
Yes. It's the best. It's the
Yeah.
best. Anyway.
So, all right. Anyway, we're here to talk wrestling. We're here to talk AEW. Let's start with the opener on AEW Revolution was the buy-in. So first match, it says, let me see, Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander. 9 minutes. It was a 10 minutes, but it's on a buy-in, so like that's cool. I didn't know who Layla Hirsch was before this match.
Really?
Yeah, but people seem to really think she has like a promising future there. And Statlander like never did anything for me. Like I'm not a big Chris Statlander fan.
I
Like,
think Statlander's good.
even when she was with like the best friends and all this stuff, I was just kind of like whatever. She came back from knee surgery.
Yeah.
She got a pop, and then I was like,
The match
Cool.
with Britt Baker was really good.
it was one of Britt's better matches, but like I don't understand, and it's still like very sports entertaining of me. It's like I don't need a huge gimmick, but don't have a dumb gimmick where I can't like even get into it. Like I never heard her cut a promo, but what are you going to talk about when you are an alien?
I mean, she said that
On Earth.
Layla Hirsch, shouldn't have been adopted. Like, you didn't see that promo?
Yeah, no.
It's like, oh my God. I was like, this is a lot.
So she's a heel alien now?
No, she's still a babyface. Because Layla Hirsch turned on her in Red Velvet. You just haven't been following.
I don't watch AEW Dark and the others.
I don't watch AEW Dark either. It's on TV.
Nah, I didn't.
You
see
probably had it on mute, right? Because you watch everything on mute.
No, not anymore. I only have a 2 TV setup currently until I get into the new crib where I'm going back to 5. I'm skipping over 3. I'm gonna have a 5 TV setup in the living room with the 82-inch TV, courtesy of the co-host. But I've actually measured out everything. So I need 42-inch TVs to have a 5 TV setup when I move in May, where the countdown begins. I'm only 7 weeks away from having that.
All right. So Layla Hirsch is built like a little tank.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
she
She
is
looks.
She's a little thick, little tank. I thought the match was fine. It's weird because she ends up losing on Dynamite a few days later. But it's good to elevate somebody else because the women's division always needs talent.
They need it in depth.
Match was fine. It wasn't great. It was what it was.
It's cool. I thought I always like pre-shows, right? Like I never take, if it's not a huge feud, especially in WWE, it's like, yo, I'm praying that it's on a pre-show.
Yeah.
Because you'll get 10, 12, 13 minutes. And I'm like, cool, I want to see them work. If it's a feud that I like, that maybe no one else does. That's why I used to love the 205 Live matches. Like, they made them wrestle on big pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But I was always like, pre-show. Like, please. And then we got bangers like Mustafa Ali, like, just going crazy on the pre-show because I was like, yes, him and Cedric Alexander are going to get 15 minutes instead of 6 because Vince doesn't care. So, no, this was the case. Like, cool. Now I know who Layla Hirsch is. I'll follow the character. And then we had QT Marshall. You know I hate QT Marshall.
I love him in this role, though.
So QT Marshall came out, and I was like, God damn it, I got to watch QT Marshall on this buy-in.
But you know what happens next.
Send hook.
Send hook!
And I was like, all right, I'll sit back down. I was like, cool. It's one of the best things in AEW with one of the worst things in AEW. And they continue to find a way to make me watch QT Marshall.
Yeah.
That damn Tony, man. He gets me every time. Because he knows somewhere he knows I hate QT Marshall.
Yeah, I hate him too. We all hate QT Marshall.
But he sticks him with Hook.
But here's the thing.
He got me.
There was a few, remember about a month and a half ago, people were like really upset about Hook.
Yeah.
They're pushing him too hard.
People complain about everything.
It's like, relax. He's on the buy-in.
Those are the WWE diehard.
I don't like Hook. And I'm like,
And I want to say they cooled his momentum a little bit going into this too. Like I think probably a little bit of like the send Hook stuff going viral is something they didn't really expect and know what to do with yet. And I think like before they sped up too much, someone had the idea to go like, wait, hold on a second, let's slow down here. Like we're AEW. We're good at this like slow, long-term story building. We're still kind of waiting for the feud for Hook. Let's give him a little bit of time. Give him a buy-in match.
Did they
make
slow
sure
him
that you know
down?
he's there, you know.
Like, did they slow him down or did they make him an attraction?
no. They
'Cause
slowed
there's
him
a
down.
difference.
He's not an attraction. I think they slowed him down because he was working every week. And then at a certain point you go, all right, well, you can't just nerf the entire roster.
He's beating everybody up.
Yeah.
So you got to
He's
say,
crushing.
all right, so there'll be a week where we don't see Hook.
Yeah.
And a week where he'll just come out. Like the QT Marshall was like 3 weeks built, where he just came out and beat him up. And now he just beats him up in the match on a buy-in. You just go,
Okay.
all right, fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Good job,
I can deal with
QT.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. We're really just here for the Hook entrance, the Hook,
You already
slam
know.
mannerism,
Man,
all
everything
in.
about
everything.
Hook. I don't understand when people see Hook and they go, oh, Hook. Well, first of all, he's like 6'2".
Yeah.
He's
not
tall,
small. He's
right?
skinny, but
He's thin, but
he don't even got his grown man body yet.
no. And this, but
You see Taz?
his offense,
Like, yo, when his grown man body
oh
hits,
yeah. But
it's over.
I mean, he probably won't be, like Taz is more like a California racing shape.
No, but he'll be Seth Rollins
Oh, he'll be big.
big, like,
Yeah.
like solid, maybe even a little bigger than Rollins. But like when everyone's grown man, like Jay White's the same way. Like Jay White was like that, not even as defined.
That fool was shredded.
And then next thing you know, you look up 3 years later, like, it's like, why is this guy leading a Bullet Club? Why is he doing? And then 3 years later, like, oh,
I get it.
yep, he looks like a grown man.
Yeah,
Like
but-
he looks like a main event star. Like Hook's gonna do the same. I don't know how he gets his hair like that. Still an amazing mystery, and it stays like that.
That's just swag.
Yeah,
You can't,
that's it.
there's a lot of things about Hook you can't.
There's
teach.
no product that you could buy to replicate that. Like the hair never messes up in a match.
I as someone with long hair, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, we're not hair aficionados on this show. So
Hold on, let me step
you-
in as the expert. I don't get it. There we go. That's my official.
When was the last time you didn't have like long hair?
Probably like this has been going on for now like a year and a half. So, and then
That's long for a
I
year and a
had
half.
short hair for quite a long time. And then I haven't had it this long since like high school. So,
Oh.
yeah, this is kind of like new. Like, still,
it'd be
it feels
very
new.
weird for me to see you with short hair.
It would. I mean, ever since I moved out to Vegas, it's been very long. So, yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. But no, I can't do Hook's hair. Can't do that.
No.
But also, I don't think I'm 30. I can't pull that off. I can't do that.
It's a young man's haircut.
I can't do that.
No, Hook is incredible. And that's, the buy-in before, sometimes they snuck like crazy matches on these buy-ins. Like I really, and they still do. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But I like when they just put like the match to just be like, okay, let's highlight someone who's not on the card. That's just really dope. And they did that with Orange Cassidy a few times when they were building him before. Darby Allin, the first 2 shows were built like that, and then he's always been like a main guy. But I like that. It's like, oh, people like this guy. We'll just mix him in and give him a match on the buy-in. That's what they should be for, WWE fans. Yeah, but no, we keep people like Sami Zayn off of like 3 pay-per-views in a row. Like, I think you have time so we don't have to see the same match from SmackDown 3 weeks in a row, the same damn tag match on a pre-show.
We'll get to WWE. Don't worry.
I more hate the WWE diehard fans now. And I still am okay with a WWE product. I know it's shitty, but I'll still watch.
Yeah, I watch it too.
But I hate the fans. Like, they are escalating. AEW fans were like the bane of my existence for a second. I feel like they've calmed down. WWE, like, super diehards who refuse to say anything bad about the company are now approaching Beyonce Beehive level with me.
It's pretty bad. I won't lie. There are people that will watch AEW just to shit on it. And it's kind
that's
of
the
weird
other
to
thing.
me.
I'm like, why are you watching AEW then?
Yeah, like, I watch everything.
Yeah.
Right? And I always say I watch it. Like, when something good happens on WWE, I'll say it. Like, when we get to it, we'll speak more in depth about it. The triple threat tag match on Raw this week was fantastic. I will say it's great. But more often than not, they try to sports entertain me and they do a bad job of it.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I'm very upfront. I like pro wrestling. I like wrestling. I like strong style stuff. AEW kind of fits my needs. So, of course, I'm going to like it. But then I see people's like, this is bad. I'm like, what are you talking about? Go be sports entertained somewhere. Here's what I really don't like.
That's what they want. They want more sports entertainment, which
what
I would appreciate too, but I think they do that very well in spots.
But here's what I don't like. You liked Adam Cole in NXT. Is he really that different in AEW?
He's the exact same guy.
They say, oh, he's working Orange Cassidy. So, Orange Cassidy's good. Like, Adam Cole was in NXT having great matches. Adam Cole just wrestled for the AEW World Championship. What are you talking about? You guys want him hot-shotted to the top of the card immediately? That's what y'all want? Relax. He lost. And people are like, oh, now he's in the gutter. He's in the ghetto now. Because, no, he's not. He still has this whole Young Bucks.
He's got so
Red
many
Dragon.
He ran
different
from the
avenues
grind.
he can go.
Yo, I need people to stop
ran
saying
from the
he
grind.
ran from the grind. If you are watching WWE in 2022 and you are watching people get called up that look like Adam Cole and what they're doing to them,
You know exactly what's going to happen.
right? And he saw it coming and was like, nah, my friends work here. The check's bigger. Why wouldn't I go to AEW? And I don't understand why people can't be fans of talent and just fans of a company. I don't get that. I'm a fan of talent.
It's like, is the company paying you?
Here's my comparison, and we
That
can
is
move
a
on.
Great question.
No, you're just watching them.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it.
You have no allegiance.
Blind
You're good.
loyalty.
So
Yeah.
here's my thing. We can go through the rest of this. I like movies, right? I love movies. But I have an affinity for, like, coming-of-age stories, dramas, things like that. Where other people have an affinity for, like, the Transformers, over-the-top action. You take an all-star cast, right? Let's just say you have some people like Mark Wahlberg, right? I like Boogie Nights Mark Wahlberg. I like Pain and Gain Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
When I see Mark Wahlberg in Transformers, I'm like, nah. The WWE has all this talent and miscast them in roles, in my opinion, because that's not my type of movie.
Yeah.
If I see Denzel Washington in an extra role, which I feel like that's what WWE does, it takes some of the best talent and put them in a very meandering role, I'm gonna say, what are you doing?
Yep.
But you take somebody like Bryan Danielson, who's if he was an actor, he'd be an excellent actor who could do anything. But I don't want to see him in G.I. Joe.
Yep.
Right? I want to see him in something else. And I want to see him in that role. I think the WWE has a problem where they're creating these action movies, and they're taking talent who can wrestle, they're making them action people.
But you can do that if you do it well. So you named a bunch of like kind of like borderline shitty action movies.
But wait. Here's why though. Here's why. The reason why I named those movies is because they kill it at the box office, regardless.
Yes.
WWE still kills it, regardless. That's
but
why I named.
You can be Marvel. You can be the MCU. You can take really good actors and put them into big action movies and do very well and make it make sense. You can, if you want.
They don't want
and they don't try to. They are okay being Transformers and not Endgame. And that is the biggest problem. I'm okay with that brand.
Yeah.
Even if you bring in wrestlers to go along with the blockbuster guys, there's a way to do it well. And wrestlers can be okay in smaller, limited roles. Like AJ Styles doesn't have to be New Japan AJ Styles. No. I've seen him be a great actor.
Yes.
Cool. He can fit in your action movie if you have him like different, or like comedies are the same way, blockbuster comedies. Like, cool. You can have a small spot and then still shine if you do it well.
Perfect example.
They don't do it well.
AJ Styles is Don Cheadle. Yeah. Don Cheadle's a phenomenal actor.
Phenomenal actor.
Don Cheadle ends up in a Marvel movie. He's like, this phenomenal actor's in here, and he's War Machine, but he kills it. As Rhodey, right? Like, he kills it.
In his scenes, crushes it.
Right, but it's like, that's the perfect way. That's like AJ Styles. He doesn't have to be this phenomenal actor anymore. He just needs to be really good in that role.
But they don't even give him,
no.
They give him Omos.
They cast the wrong person. They cast Omos as War Machine. It's like, what are you doing?
And then now you give him Edge, you're like, that's it. That's all you need.
But at the same time, it's like there's very few people who can do like, who can go both ways like that, right? It's like there's the AJ Styles. I think Kevin Owens' approach is like, if he's not there already, like approaching that territory, and it's like you can give him the little spots, and then you can have him go drop a promo on Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you're just like, sure, I'm here for this. Go ahead. Like, was I expecting it? No, but let's go for it. But it's like, I think the analogy of like giant action movies is like, this is like the WWE going for the Transformers, the Marvel movies, and then you got AEW pulling the A24 bullshit over here and making kind of the like the indie movies, but with a bigger budget.
The Ladybirds, the Moonlights, that's them.
And they do that very well.
Very well.
And people have to.
It's a different flavor.
Your expectation should not be that you're going to get a crazy car chase and $1 million like CGI.
Exactly. Correct.
Like, what are you going in with? But you can still be very entertained going into this. So they have these pockets of like, if you like sports entertainment, like I like good sports entertainment. I also like good pro wrestling. If you like good sports entertainment, you can't watch the MJF Punk feud and not be sports entertained.
Well, yeah.
It's almost impossible. Then you're just lying. There's people on that, Daniel Bryan and Mox, which we'll get to. Like, there's
Brian
so
Danielson.
many. Or Brian Danielson.
It's easy to mix up.
No one told him to just flip the names around when he got to WWE. So Brian Danielson, lucky they didn't call his ass Butch. Brian Danielson and Mox, and it's just like one of those things where it's like you could be very sports entertained, but then there's also just like straight hardcore wrestling matches, kind of like we had the last buy-in, House of Black versus what's left of Death Triangle and Eric Redbeard. Together, and it's just like, listen, that's not a sports entertainment feud, even though they both have decent characters. And like House of Black is, for any purposes, if you want him to be sports entertained, yes, you can do that. Aleister Black worked phenomenally in this role or a similar role in NXT and in the main roster. At certain points, they just fucked it up and they don't know how to book people. So this is the feud where it's like they can do both, and in the ring, is delivered.
Well, that was a good match.
It was, and I don't even like Eric Redbeard.
But it's like, but now you put him in this role and you go, oh, this works. Same with Pac.
Everyone bought in that match. When he was involved, they made him feel bigger than I've seen him in his entire career.
I mean, that every part of that match, I was like, this is very well put together. Like, Pac doing Pac things, Black doing Black things, Brody King looked phenomenal. Then Murphy, Buddy, like, good Lord.
Yeah.
First of all, the dude is jacked.
Holy crap. 205.
Buddy Matthews. That's still one of my favorite storylines in 205 history is him trying to cut down every week to make the thing. And then he'd step on a scale and be like, 211.8. He's just like losing his mind because he can't have his match that night. And he's like tearing shit up.
205.
Oh, he was so happy when he hit 204.9 and he could finally have a match. And then they never weighed him again. And then the motherfucker was like 225 every week, just crushing it.
Dude,
But
he was tremendous.
he's such a good wrestler.
Yes,
He really like that faction is really good.
it's a really good faction.
AEW has a million factions. Though. Like, let's get this straight. But it doesn't bother me yet. Like, I've watched enough New Japan that's like whatever.
Yeah,
I
the
can
whole
see
show
it.
was faction.
We tear some down and create new ones, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, the casual fans watching this, like, you gotta like that match. It's a great match. And Dre, you say it all the time. These trios titles.
Where are the
What are we
trios
doing?
titles?
Agreed.
Quit playing.
After this match,
Especially with all these damn factions, get a trios title.
Like, yo, you can there's so much you can do with 6-man tag matches.
so many.
And once Death Triangle's back in full force, like that's a nightmare team. Like all of that, give it to me. Quit
Orange
playing.
Cassidy, best friends.
That's what I'm saying. It's unstoppable.
yeah.
When Cole makes his decision, which seems like he'll go with Red Dragon, and it's like,
Another trio.
yeah, Omega comes back with the Bucks.
Trio.
Can you imagine these matches? Put them in a cage.
Yeah.
I want to see that so bad.
Yeah, man.
How
We
about Vegas?
still have
Not
Team
even
Taz.
Everybody's loaded.
Trio. Like,
Everybody is loaded.
Yeah.
Everybody is loaded. They need a trios title.
no, hands down. I definitely agree. Since this segment went long with video games and the opening buy-in, let's take one more break. When we come back, we'll cover the entire main card and get you guys out of here. But
We gotta
Pro
talk, we
wrestling
gotta
show
talk a
is always
little WWE.
a little bit. We'll mix it in. We're mixing it in now.
All right, cool.
Mostly with our complaints.
I derailed it with video games. I'm sorry, listeners.
Be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. All right, as promised, we are back wrapping up our recap of AEW Revolution, which, I mean, we haven't even gotten to the main card yet. So let's.
It was a long night.
Oh, long. First match, Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho. Another aspect of being sports entertained.
This is a good match.
It was better than I thought.
And the right man won.
Yes, Eddie Kingston needs it. Jericho does not. Every time I see Jericho now, I'm just like, I don't even know how you transform your body like that.
He
like,
looked great.
Amazing.
wild.
DDP yoga. That's
It
all I'm
has
going to
to
say.
be, right?
That's all I'm going to say. But what
you
a
got to
like,
start the DDP.
like those are the two exact right people to stick together in a ring.
yeah.
Just like as soon as the match was made, like it didn't even need really that much buildup. It was just like, yeah,
Makes sense.
that is the match that should be. This is the fight that they should be having.
Yep.
And the promos early, like again, to do something on like, you know, that kind of like, not necessarily short notice, but just like a smaller buildup. I mean, and Eddie Kingston is so good at that. He did it with
Yeah.
Punk, and now he's done it with Jericho, where it's just like he needs 2 weeks. That's it. And there's a storyline, and a really captivating one, and a really good one.
So happy for that guy.
Really, I mean,
Only thing
amazing.
bad about Eddie
Amazing.
Kingston is his ring gear. Outside of that,
Like
like
he doesn't have a wrestler body, man.
yeah,
He's
like
got
so
a nice little
it's,
belly.
it's all right. So outside of that, though, man, the guy is amazing. He does everything right, and like Cole said, he builds a story. To be fair, he can build a story in a night if you let him. Just give him a mic.
My favorite thing with Eddie King, there's videos. I think it was probably part of like the being the elite stuff where he's just dropping promos on inanimate objects. So there's like him dropping a promo on a cookie. I'll have to send you guys the video. It's phenomenal. It's like and he does it
Wow.
really good. It's just like this cookie is so good, but I just can't have you. And it's just like he's magical with a microphone. He's
Dude.
magical.
He is special. So there's two things. One, Meltzer gave it 4 3/4 stars.
Yeah.
I didn't give it 4 3/4 stars. I think foreshadowing for the rest of it. I didn't think there was a classic match on this card. I thought it was a really, 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 really good card. But my bar is high.
Yeah,
5-star matches was Bucks Lucha Bros in the cage.
Cage,
That's a
that's-
classic. This had,
that got like 8 stars by him though. So,
Yeah.
like,
but I'm saying like you got it gets a little egregious.
yeah.
But I thought this was really good. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying it was a bad
it
match.
was a
but
good match.
4 3/4. I don't agree with Meltzer. I thought Meltzer rated a lot of stuff on this card really, really
Really?
high. But I thought this was really good. Second thing, looks like we're free in LAX. The following night, Jericho comes. They joins with 2.0.
Yep.
Danny Garcia, who's great, by the way. Who I think he needed somebody like Jericho around him to elevate him Because Sammy got that rub. Danny's about to get it. But now LAX is with Kingston, where they should have been in the first place.
All the time.
I loved it.
But now we got to push them.
Oh, I think they're going to get pushed.
They're in the right place. Now we got to push them.
Another
Yeah, they haven't
trios match.
signed-
That could be a trios. Oh, my God. The violence with LAX and Eddie Kingston?
3 belts, 3
Take you
belts,
back to
3
Impact.
belts, 3 belts.
Shout out to Justin Ivey. Taking it back to Impact. And then, I thought that match was good. Probably not 4.75. It was like I don't even know if it was 4. It was just great storytelling.
I mean, I gave it an A-, right, when I
Yeah,
did
like-
my report card.
It was great storytelling.
Yeah.
It made me care.
Yep.
During a match. And
And then
again,
he made him tap.
yeah, and I zone out a lot during Dynamite and everything else. Like, I have the fast forward button to get through a lot of it. So I didn't, like, really buy into, like, all the buildup and everything. The match made me care. So that's
Tell
without
you what, though. Eddie Kingston picks up a mic.
listen. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to hit
That-
That
that's
is
what he would
must
play.
watch
Yeah.
TV.
And then Jurassic Express versus Red Dragon and the Young Bucks.
Told you Jurassic Express was winning this match.
You did.
But you see why, though, right?
Yeah, it furthers a different storyline. Neither of those teams need the title yet. I just don't need the title on Jurassic Express
I'm
anymore.
fine. I'm fine with it. They're not going to hold it for a long time.
It's been a while.
It hasn't been that long. But
Vegas got to be it.
this match was structured in a way that Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus looked incredible in this match individually.
Yeah.
There was that what was that spot where Jungle Boy, it was a Rana German suplex? It was something wild.
Yeah. No,
Like
it's-
Jungle Boy showed out, and Luchasaurus showed out, and you knew Red Dragon, and you knew what Young Bucks were gonna do. So I thought this match was very well handled.
Yeah.
It ended the right way. I think Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I mean, they may lose a double or nothing, but they didn't need to lose to either of these teams because they got a different story to tell that doesn't require belts.
And if anything, like, again, like you said, like, we know what the Young Bucks could do. We know what Red Dragon can do. If anything, use them to help elevate Jurassic Express as a team and kind of help build them. Because ultimately, like you said, Red Dragon and Young Bucks, they have a whole other story that does not require belts. So if anything, give Jurassic Express love and just keep coming out to Tarzan Boy because that is great.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
It's such a good intro.
I thought it was same thing. I thought it was a good match. A little long, but only because the grand scheme of the card.
Yeah,
when I was watching, it didn't make me feel like it was like super long.
Yeah.
But when I look back, I was like, yo, this card is going forever. So I may not have needed 19 minutes for them to get all those spots in, but I really liked the match as well. Next match, Wardlow. It's Face of Revolution ladder match. So Wardlow, Christian, Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, Hobbs, and Ricky Starks.
Wardlow, Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs staring each other down. You know what that means. In honor of Biggie, big meaty man slapping me.
Yeah. But you know what the star of this match was? Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Orange is great.
Look,
Ricky
Incredible.
Starks.
He's incredible.
the spot where he has the ladder and they lift up the ladder and he was like he thinks about it and he's like, I'm gonna pull myself up and get the brass ring. That was great. Keith Lee almost killed him.
Yeah, that brass ring is ridiculous.
It is really, but now it's such a joke that you might as well leave it there.
At this point, you got to buy into it.
Yeah, it was probably a Cody creation, and they're just like, just run with it.
Anytime they raise that thing, they should just play the Green Hill Zone music from Sonic the Hedgehog. do, 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 just every time.
They should. But I thought the match, it wasn't like
Amazing.
classic.
Yeah.
But it did what it was supposed to do. Wardlow now has that rub. The promo he cuts on Dynamite, I was like, all right, yeah, WWE's probably going to come after him.
Yeah. No, great promo.
He went from a WCW power plant guy to a legitimate star.
Yeah.
That guy's a star.
He has not sure star yet. I think he's better than what we anticipated.
Yeah,
sure.
And I really can't wait to see this MJF blowout, which we'll get to. But
Just someone unfold Ricky Starks. I think he's still in half.
oh my god.
And he stayed in that formation for quite a while.
he
So
did.
someone just kind of just make sure Ricky's okay.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy just kicking the big dudes with the little kicks. It's like the best part.
That's why I was like, how can you not like this guy? He brings levity to a match that kind of needs it.
Yeah.
You got all these muscle guys. You got Christian kind of being the gel, like making sure people are in the right spots. And you got Ricky Starks being Ricky Starks. But you got Cassidy just being a goof. But he can wrestle. And he's
So
like,
good.
he figures things out as they're going along. His facial expressions were great. I don't know how people don't like this guy. I love Orange Cassidy.
Incredible.
Everyone loves Orange Cassidy. Next up, I guess this is a good time to also fit in that last year's winner of Face the Revolution ladder match ends up being TNT champion. And we have Scorpio Sky, the first male black champion in AEW. I mean, I guess we've been asking for this, so yeah, congrats. Like,
It's
cool.
weird that people were upset about it when it happened.
I'm not upset. I can't say that it like really cared because it came out of the blue.
Yeah.
He should have won it last year because his work and then like, I have all these wins on AEW Dark and Cody and blah, blah, blah. And he cut the promo where he sits the chair in the middle of the ring and then he grabs the stupid Sonic ring and everyone's hype and then he just loses to Cody.
And he hadn't lost since in a singles match.
Yeah, but like it was just underrated and it just went by the way. But like he was red hot on that. So this time it was like, okay, I guess like the record shows that he was deserving, but it just didn't feel the same. And a lot of those matches were not on TV. Like I really had to watch AEW Dark to really get the momentum build and everything. I just don't got that time.
I think there's a lot of people like, oh, he's losing the Warlord next week. No, he's not.
No.
No, he's
Agreed.
Sure.
not. MJF is definitely
Yes.
coming to
Austin,
ruin that.
yeah.
Yes.
I think what they are positioning this to be is now that Paige Van Zandt has signed, now Dan Lambert has something to do. He was stuck with it, like the whole Nightmare Factory with Brandy. And I don't know, he's like, thank God they are gone because now we can kind of build out. If Scorpio Sky, if they can keep this momentum going with them, they might have something with them. They
should.
You just got to get over the Cody burial.
Yeah, but then, I also love the fact where he was like, I don't need these two titles. I'm putting one in ATT.
Yeah.
So now it's like, now we got one TNT champion.
I'm still not like huge on like ATT, Lambert.
I think Lambert's great. I think they completely have misused him.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's necessary. Their introduction felt so disjointed for so long that now they're trying to plug the puzzle piece in somewhere. And then to me, Paige Van Zandt's just gonna be like Ronda Rousey or Jace. Like I don't think she's good.
I don't know. I think Paige might have something. As long as they don't do her in a Ronda Rousey fashion where they elevate her to the top of the card.
I mean, because realistically, no woman on that roster could beat her realistically. So they're going to have to, especially, it's not the deepest of women's rosters. They're going to have to shoot her to the top of something. You got two belts.
I think you have Red Velvet. I think you have a lot of talent that Paige can actually feud with.
May have to go over on Jade Cargill.
No.
And then Jade goes to a higher belt.
No. You've gone too far.
Eventually.
You've gone too far.
That's who she's going to have to beat.
But I think Paige is, the fact that she is so green and so new to this business, you can slow play this for a while.
Maybe.
And as long as, and she can interfere in matches, ATT should actually build a stable now. Lambert, whatever stables, I don't know what they're doing with Eli, but they gotta figure something out. And now that they're free of the Cody stench a bit, they could have something here. We'll see as the weeks come because they're gonna need to add some more people if they want to be an actual stable that people care about.
Yeah. Hopefully, it feels less disjointed, and I care about the Lambert stable. Yeah. We'll see how that goes building forward. Next match, speak of Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill defeats Tay Conti in this match, and who was short?
Should have been.
Should have been.
Yo.
My least favorite match of the night.
That ring attire, though. Coming out as Jade from Mortal Kombat was, I just popped immediately. I was like, wait, I don't know why I didn't make this connection in my head at all. And it was so well done. And yeah, it was, I think these Jade matches are still going to be quick and for all intents and purposes, stomps. And now, and she's doing this over someone who was just, fighting Britt Baker only a few months ago. So it just keeps rising her profile even more. But yeah, no, the Jade Mortal Kombat outfit was
entrance was the best part.
Oh, it was so good. And they had the live guitar. Yeah, great.
She is, again, I keep saying this, how unique she is.
Yeah.
The thing that hooked me wasn't even the match itself. It was the promo when she walked in on Tay and was like, bitch, don't nobody give a shit about that karate. I was like, hold on. Because the way she delivered the line, I was like, all right, they have more than what they asked for with Jade. Yes, she's going to be rough around the edges in the ring, but you can work these kinks out because this woman.
I don't need to see her wrestle more than 6 minutes.
We've never seen anything like this. in terms of her overall look and the personality that comes with it, like she's shredded for one.
She's the closest thing I've seen since China won.
Yeah, but
where
China
it
couldn't even
came-
wrestle.
Oh, again, I don't
And
need to. I mean,
China couldn't cut a promo.
okay, but like,
China couldn't put a. She couldn't.
China was such a different
Oh,
feel.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I had never
Yeah,
seen
sure.
anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Facts. Yeah,
And it was polarizing. This is the closest thing I've seen since that in terms of women, where it's just like Jade can cut a promo, but I was sold before I ever heard her speak.
She doesn't need to she doesn't need to wrestle. She doesn't need
No.
to get on a microphone. You just take one look at Jade Cargill and you are immediately like, okay,
She's
money.
the
money,
female
100%.
She's the female Bill Goldberg to me, where she walks in the ring, in the room. I don't care what move she does. If you could teach this woman 3 moves,
Yeah.
I'm sold, because that's all she needs. She is that polarizing, and the star power is that good. 6 minutes might be too long for me. Give her 4. Let her roll over. I'm perfectly fine with her being Bill Goldberg if you want her to be.
I mean, she's
100% fine.
gonna have to work at some point. Like she's gonna have to figure this out. She's gonna have to work from underneath.
Yeah.
You know, it's like she's gonna have to get better.
Just avoid cattle prods.
But
You'll be
yeah,
fine.
but as long as you got Bryan Danielson coaching her, she'll be all right.
Yeah, she'll get better. She's not going to get worse.
No, but geez, that woman's look, my God.
Looks amazing.
Incredible.
Like sold on the gimmick for those who want to be sports entertained.
Yeah,
True. Yes.
Here's Jade Cargill.
Yes.
my God.
CM Punk versus MJF dog collar match. All right. Before we heap a million praises on this match, the runtime is 27 minutes.
Mhm.
AEW don't give a fuck about no clock. There's no clock anywhere in this pay-per-view.
Mm-mm.
They're just like, we finish when we finish. I am very happy that they did it with this match. CM Punk's entrance.
Oh my God.
I say this all the time. Like, I got into ROH after having a conversation where I said I did not like Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Like, one of the first times we met in the UFC, like, little cafeteria area, pre-fight. And Ryan McKinnell, maybe Mark Raymundi was talking wrestling. And I said that, and everyone, like, stopped. I was like, oh, my God. And they're like, you have to watch ROH. No, you got to. Cool. So I went back and watched, like, a bunch of ROH. But I didn't watch, like, the Punk years. I didn't go that far back. So I've seen few Daniel Bryan matches from back then.
Bryan Danielson, stop.
Bryan Danielson matches from back
Bryan.
then. So I've seen a good amount of those. So him, Tyler Black. I've seen him, Chris Hero. I've seen, I think him and Cesaro, him, Tyler Black, and there was someone else who had a triple threat match that was incredible.
So you basically missed the era of like Austin Aries.
Yeah, I had no clue about Austin Aries
Nigel
outside.
McGuinness.
Nope.
Yeah.
Outside of Impact and those matches, no clue.
Yeah.
So I missed that. I saw Punk and Joe, all 3.
Phenomenal.
I saw Punk versus
Raven? Do you see the Raven?
no,
feud?
didn't see a Raven feud. Didn't see that at all. Still haven't. I got to go back and
You have
watch
to
that
go
this
back
week.
and watch it.
So I've seen Punk versus someone else who I forgot his feud was, but it was very good. Might have been Nigel McGuinness. Blonde?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
It was like very bleach blonde.
That
versus
was Nigel. Nigel had beast
Yeah.
on here.
So him and Punk, I've seen 2 of their matches. And then that's it. That's all I've seen of Punk ROH. So when he came out in the gear, I was like, yeah, there's some. The music
Yeah.
popped me before anything.
AFI.
So I got the music, and then I was like, oh, there's something about this gear. Like, oh, those are shorts. I was like, all right, cool. But I didn't know the exact, like, moment. And so it was cool seeing everyone on Twitter, like, post everything, because I was like, oh, thank you. This is for people like me. Like, I need these clips. I need to see the exact ring gear. I love that he did the exact opening standing on the ropes.
Yeah.
Like, for someone even with a limited knowledge of Punk in ROH, that was good. It popped me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Nicole, I'm gonna let you talk because I'm gonna focus on what Punk said after this match, but I want you guys to talk.
I
about
think,
that.
I think you talked to the length of the match. Like, for this to be what should be the cap on the feud, I would greatly assume. Just a pure storytelling match. It not like had nothing to do with, this is not a match you come for big spots, crazy athletic, just pure like, you know, we've built up this story so much and for so long that these guys just hate each other and you're going to watch them brutalize each other. I kind of like even think to a smaller extent, like this is how like the Adam Page and Bryan Danielson feud kind of ended with a match that wasn't like that first time limit draw, very technical, lot of incredible spots that match. Second one was not the spot fest as the first one was. It was just brutal. It was it was a bloody mess. And that's what this match needed to be. And it was. And I mean, yeah, as like a dog collar match, you have to have that kind of slow pace. So, you know, it has to have time to build and then end. And I think ending perfectly with the Wardlow spot of him finally, like, we all knew the turn was like coming. Yeah. There was no big secret here. I mean, if you want to like criticize anything, I guess you could say something like, you know, well, like wish we would have seen this like not coming, you know, but like Wardlow betraying MJF had the writing written all over it, helping Punk get over. I think to transition to what Punk's doing after that, you know, we see Punk, you know, in the background after he's celebrating.
Yeah.
We're seeing this. I have a feeling that's what we're going to see in Vegas, is him fight for the title.
Punk and Page. That'll be big. So what I want to focus on is afterward. So what we haven't talked about is Tony Khan's now bought ROH, right? And in the so Punk, for anybody who hasn't seen it, go watch the post scrum that he does. Punk arrives and is immediately emotional. And he talks about how he's basically back in love with the thing that he fell out of love with. And how he's thankful that Vince didn't buy our ROH because it just ended up being a tab on a shitty app.
Yeah.
And that's when the WWE fans lost it. Ah, you didn't like this business.
Great line.
Yeah. But, you know, he's right.
Yeah.
You didn't like this business. You could have came back at any time. Blah, blah, blah. Was the money, so on and so forth. Punk goes on to talk about how much he enjoys working with young talent, how much he enjoys when he sees people. It was like, it still is jarring to him for young talent to say, I wrestle because of you. That's still, it got him. Somebody was like, I started covering wrestling because of you. And that got Punk like emotional. And we've never seen Punk like this. And some people said it was disingenuous. And I was like, hold on. I've been in a position where clearly much lower level than Punk. I love hip hop. And I worked at BET, and it made me hate it. And I understand that feeling where you put everything you love and you, like, I wanted to do hip hop at BET, and BET wanted me to be sports entertainment.
Yep.
And I was like, I hate this place. I hated going there every day. I hated it. And then when I left, I stopped doing music for a while because I was so burnt out on it, and I was so disgusted by everything that happened. I hated it, and I needed a palate cleanse until I got back into it on my own terms. It took Punk 7 years of being injured. Like, if anybody read the GQ article?
Yep.
Where he kind of talks about, like, the staph infection, where other people talking about it. I saw a man who loves what he's always loved, and he's getting to do it the way that he's always wanted to do it. He was never a sports entertainer.
No.
He just happened to do really well in sports entertainment. Sports entertainment wanted Punk. Punk didn't want sports entertainment, right? Like, I went to BET because maybe if Punk wanted the same thing, I don't know if he thinks like this. I went to BET as, you know, I wasn't even 30 yet, and I said, I'm going to help change this place. And I'm sure Punk came in with the same thing. I'm going to help. I want to usher in. You don't have to be big and muscle to be a wrestler. And I came to BET, and I was like, I want to prove that you don't have to have a radio hit to make a great album. And when they turned me around, I figured out the system was a system, and you can never change the system. I was disgusted. Punk did the same thing. He figured out the system was the system. The Summer of Punk, that promo, everything he did.
Big guys is always going to win out,
yes.
no matter how big you can get.
No matter what Punk could do, yes, he had an impact on so many people's lives. And yes, he turned a lot of people on to pro wrestling. But Vince was still going to be Vince. That system was going to be the system. And he ended up battered, beat up, and was discarded because of it. Now he's back, and he's happy again. As a, what is he, 43 now? Working some of the best matches of his life. And I listen to people say that they don't like that, or why is he taking shots at WWE? Why wouldn't he? When people ask him, are you happy that Vince didn't get the library? Yes, he's happy. Why wouldn't he want the guy who owns the business that he works for, the company that he works for, to own his footage? He doesn't want Vince to have that footage. if Vince owned Ring of Honor footage, do you think Ring of Honor would have like a show? It feels like, from everything that we've been seeing, that Tony Khan wants to kind of build ROH as its own entity again, right? Which is going to
like it.
It's going to be very interesting WrestleMania weekend when they do Supercard of Honor. It's an ROH show, but it's probably going to have a lot of AEW influence on it. And then they're doing the Hall of Fame with Punk, Samoa Joe.
Yep.
Samoa Joe's unemployed right now.
Temporarily.
Him and Punk, the last time I talked to Joe at SummerSlam in Vegas, he was like, me and Punk talk every day. This is before he got cut by the WWE. You think they're not talking every day?
Yep.
You think Tony Khan's not sitting there going, what do you want to do, Joe?
Joe had a big hand in NXT recruiting, training those last year and a half, 2 years. If there's anyone to do the day-to-day of
him.
ROH when you restart it,
It's him.
he's probably your guy. And you got Regal.
Dog. You already know how I feel about Joe.
on.
Joe's one of my favorite wrestlers I've ever seen in my life because he just defied every expectation of what a big man should and shouldn't do in the ring. But you take that man who came to WWE way too late, right, where he couldn't move like he used to. Like, those people that watched Joe in WWE didn't see the Joe that I watched in Ring of Honor and TNA. They missed that Joe.
Yeah.
But if you take that Joe and put him in a position of power to where he can book or he can tell people what to do, I think he changes. I mean, that's huge. But ultimately, people that didn't like Punk's promo, to me, it's like you're just never going to like Punk. And I think that's a man who doesn't have a lot of friends, who loves pro wrestling. Why are you not happy to see a man who loves what he does happy again? It's weird to me.
Some people ain't happy. That's the key. Like, they just want to see other people not happy.
It's weird.
But with this match, I was very happy.
I was too.
That was probably, and again, probably because I was invested in the storyline. It's probably my favorite match of the night.
Yep.
It was really good. It
It
was
lived
violent
up.
as hell.
Oh, yeah. Delivered. It had to be.
Yeah, had to be.
To blow off that feud. And I didn't mind the interference at the end. Because at this point, MJF doesn't lose a lot. You got to give him a reason why he loses.
Absolutely.
Like, why he loses when he does.
Absolutely.
So this was a good way to kind of get over that in this match. Britt Baker versus Thunderosa.
This was my least favorite match of the night.
Me
18
as well.
minutes.
Nope.
For no reason.
Nope.
Yeah.
Why? I think you said it. So I'll let you expand on it. Britt Baker has hit a wall
Yes.
that she was red hot a year ago this time. She's almost unbearable as champion to me right now.
Well, it's time, right?
Yeah.
Britt Baker came in when the division was floundering. Went heel, had that match with Thunderosa, became AEW champion, basically put the women's division on their shoulders while they were scrambling to figure out how to make this weak division work. 'Cause remember, it was weak
Yeah.
until Britt Baker became champion. Now she's champ. She's done, and now all the talent is fine. The rising tide is raising all the boats. So all the boats are coming up. And now you look at Britt Baker and you remember, oh, wait, she's not that great of a wrestler. She was good for when they needed her, but now it's stale.
She's very good in stipulation matches. She's
very
like
good.
Roman Reigns.
She's very good in stipulation match. She has a great character.
Yep.
She's a good wrestler. She's not a great wrestler. But now that you have all these other women, okay, you did what you needed to do. It's time. It's time for you to go.
Do you think it's because they're still not quite sure who they want to give the keys to?
Yes.
That to me is the only reason she is still holding that belt, is because obviously, like, it comes with that credibility that she's given it, and they're just a little apprehensive of who they want to give the keys to next.
As they should be, because honestly, their number one champion has the secondary belt. So Britt wasn't as stale to me until we see Jade as a champion. And it's like, you're the main champion, but you ain't her.
No.
So if you give the belt to someone else, like Thunder Rosa could have won.
Sure.
But if you ask me who's the women's champion in AEW, it's Jade Cargill. So you need someone that's a little bit bigger. Maybe for the first time, someone debuts and wins the belt outright.
Yeah, and it's tricky too, because you can't, like, Jade is in the perfect spot for her right now, where she does have the quote unquote secondary belt. However you want to, a champion is a champion, but sticking Jade up to that number 1 spot immediately and having her have these 5-6 minutes, crushing matches is not going to do anything for the women's division, right?
No.
You're just going to bury everybody else. So it's like, this is why like TBS title is perfect for Jade Cargill. But now it's like, who's your workhorse?
Ruby has to take it. 'Cause
Ruby's a good,
if
a
you
decent choice.
If you heat Ruby up, she can.
Yeah.
If you sign Athena, which was Ember Rose or Ember Moon, Ember Moon, just let her rock. Like I think you can sign her and she could win it ASAP at her first pay-per-view.
You know who's the best feud in the women's division right now? Serena Deeb and Sheeta.
Yeah.
Yeah, good matches.
Serena
Brutal.
Deeb she could be the one.
She's the wrestler's wrestler.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what that makes her as a champion.
It makes her the working champion.
Okay.
Because Jade, yes, if you want to call that TBS title the secondary title, fine.
It's like the Intercontinental belt. That's
You
fine.
could call her that, but in reality, whatever Jade does with it is what Jade does with it, but she's never going to be the working champion. You need a working champion. And Deeb is really good.
Yeah, she is. I mean, she taught people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's really good. Like her feud with Sheeta and like interfering when she was going to win her, what was that, 50th match or whatever it was. And then watching her work other shows, I've been watching her in GCW. I watch her work everywhere. And I'm like,
She's good.
she's good.
Yeah.
She didn't get that title off of Britt Baker. I don't know if they do it, but you need somebody to get that title as a heel or whatever it is that they're going to do and elevate it more. And I think Deeb can make it into a working champion. So whoever gets it off of her has to work twice as hard. Whoever beats Jade, I don't know when that happens, right? But it's like beating Hulk Hogan at this rate.
Yep.
Well, I mean, at this point, if she's going to lose, she's in a perfect spot because then immediately she's elevated to the main title picture. So she got to drop it maybe off of shenanigans or something.
It's going to be an interesting few months here for that title, and especially seeing where it lands, if Britt still even has it when they're here in Vegas. Because if she gets to that point, there is no possible way they can keep the belt on her after Double or Nothing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on who
They
she feels
gotta
with.
at that point. At that point, that's gotta be it.
You got to pull. Yeah. They have a month and a half.
We'll see if they pull the trigger earlier.
They have a month and a half to build someone.
Yes.
To take that
Agreed.
belt off her. And then we have second favorite match of the night, Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. Singles match,
Got it.
21 minutes. I mean,
They bled together.
could have took 10 minutes off of the last match and threw it on here for a 30-minute, and I would have been fine. No, they bled together. William Regal coming out.
War Games. Actually, I saw someone post a picture right afterward and just said Wardlow, and I was like, great,
Yeah, you got it.
do it, just do it.
I saw people complain about Regal being in AEW.
Listen, I don't like a bunch of old men everywhere in AEW.
Regal's
but
different.
it's William Regal.
Regal.
I want to pivot and then go back into this match. Regal's promo on Dynamite
Yes,
was so good.
which he had to apologize for.
Yeah, because he
You
went
do
long.
Not, yeah,
I'm
you
like,
do not apologize. Sir.
like you do not apologize because you fought off a lot of demons,
Yeah,
and you gave that to us in the ring. We haven't seen that part of you,
in a long time.
and it's like you, Danielson, and Moxley. Like Danielson, strangely enough, like he's the most pure wrestler on the planet, right? But Moxley's just gotten out of rehab, and Regal is just he's dealt with so much, and to have him cut that promo, I was like, oh my god. Back to the match. So just beat the shit out of each other.
That's all I wanted.
And I was just sitting there like,
Strong style.
and this further lands credence. I was like, hey, man, we got to talk about this Danielson is on this Mount Rushmore, man. He comes in as like, I'll do your match.
Yep, and do it well.
Yes.
5-star. I'll do your kind of 5-star.
Yeah.
I'll do your 5-star. Like
What can't this man do?
it's
One of the best wrestlers ever.
Like Moxley, for all intents and purposes, Moxley's a great wrestler, but he's limited in certain areas of wrestling, right? He's not a technically sound wrestler. Danielson's a technically sound wrestler. Death matches aren't necessarily his thing, but I'm pretty sure he could do it.
100% sure.
God, this match was just good.
Yep.
Bryan Danielson's going to be up there with Hart. He's going to be up there with Shawn.
Yes,
He already is.
he's there.
Like, he's going to be on the floor of wrestlers. Now, you can argue that there's like a spot, there's a different list where there's like Rock, Hogan,
Oh, of course.
Sure.
Austin. That's fine. Whatever. Because sometimes Brett's not on that list. Sometimes Shawn's not on that list. I'd say that's a whole different area. Like sports entertainment, maybe give me Austin, Rock, Hogan, and Cena. Cool. Throw them on their Mount Rushmore. That's sports entertainment. Professional wrestling, Mount Rushmore for me. Like you get Hart, you get Shawn, you get Danielson, and then we're getting into weird territory where it's like who's the fourth guy. But I mean, you know, you
Flair,
can go Flair on that one. You have Hugh, who must not be named, is up there. You have
Eddie
Guerrero.
Guerrero.
You have Chris Jericho.
That's what I was about to mention. Jericho.
Like that fourth spot gets dicey. But I think Bryan Danielson is locking down that third spot, and then now the fourth is the juggle.
And he ain't going anywhere.
No,
He's only adding to the resume.
He's only adding, and he's like, there's no signs of slowing down.
Omega looks like he might get into that mix for a while, but
it's like
it started to come.
We just gotta get him back and wrestling with, you know, get some more Danielson matches.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's like all the people. You think about all the people who have come in since the end of Omega's run.
right, that's the crazy thing.
It's there. It's all there. It's
Whew.
Adam Cole,
Omega left, and it was like all these guys.
Wardlow. It's all these guys. It's just
Johnny
like
Gargano's a free agent. Like you could bring Johnny. like the matches.
Like just
would
think
just
about
be
it.
crazy.
CM
Omega-
Punk.
Yeah.
Omega leaves, and it's like he's sitting there, and I'm sure there had to be some point where Omega was in AEW and was like, nobody can keep up with me.
When it first started,
Yeah,
he was like, "Yo, I'll just book the women. Like, I'll let everything figure it."
Yeah, but it's like nobody, like, not to be arrogant, but nobody can keep up with me, right? Now he looks and he's like, oh my God.
There was no Okadas on the roster.
There were no Okadas on the roster.
But like Omega Danielson?
Listen, man.
Again.
If Jay White signs like for a bigger role, like you're now getting a lot of work rate guys.
Like now we're getting busy.
Yeah.
Right? Like now we're just working.
You can work up and down the card. Punk. That means you can work up and down this card and have any match you want.
This is stupid.
So it's an embarrassment of riches.
Dude, if Claudio signs,
Oh,
you know, I mean, if Claudio signs, it's a sorrow for those who only watch WWE. But if
Claudio
he signs,
him versus Omega is going to be in.
That's the best part of Kenny Omega just sitting out for now. It's just like we just came up with like 6 matches and we're like, yeah, where's the popcorn? Where do I get the front row seat? Let's
Just
go.
like you get an extra signing. Like again, sometimes like we're talking with E, it's like cool. Like E was champion, he was champion. Like and then they get out for a while. Like Omega was champion. I was like, okay, did we take him for granted? Like when he was champion. Then you get out for a while. So when you come back, it's like, oh, okay, like
and he's
I
got the
it.
perfect slot to come into. It's just got to be like the right moment,
Oh,
the
him
right
versus
time.
Adam Cole is just on a platter.
The Young Bucks Red Dragon Adam Cole scenario requires Kenny Omega to finish that off. It's the slot's perfect form. It's just got to be the right timing.
Yep.
And as soon as his face shows up, that pop better be.
Oh, it's gonna be.
the cleaner
insane.
shows up. Oh.
And then we have Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting versus Andrade and the Hardy family.
There's 2 things.
Go ahead.
This is all we got to mention really when it comes to this match.
That's it.
Sammy Guevara doing the crazy ass flip
Oh, the
over the
Spanish
table.
fly? Oh my God. What is
Incre-
wrong with him?
He's
He's
exactly
He's crazy.
He's nuts.
and
Through 2 tables.
God bless. I know you guys feel like you guys have talked about this before. Not the biggest like Stinger fans. I love.
No, I'm a big Sting fan.
Okay.
I'm not. No, he's a huge.
I mean, yeah. Growing up, like Sting was the shit for me. So just seeing him wrestle is I mean, it's mind boggling. But he's 62 damn years old, and he jumped off a freaking railing into a set of 2 tables. What?
insane.
What?
That popped me.
It popped me. I'm not a huge Sting guy.
It popped me and I giggled, right? Like I was giggling. I was like, I can't believe he did this.
What?
I had to put it in the chat immediately because I watched after everyone. I was like, Sting's a bad man. Like,
He's a
like I
maniac.
got,
God bless.
I got to
the
give him
Stinger.
props. Like if I can be critical of him in certain moments and being old and everything, I can't be a hypocrite. That is an amazing spot for
The
anyone.
only thing that is for sure about Sting is nothing is for sure.
Listen, and then
Now
I
just
read
give me him
the
versus
Players Tribune?
broken.
Players
broken Heart.
Tribune article I read today,
oh, yeah.
and I was like, oh, they're really trying to
Now
make me a
just
Sting fan.
Just give me
Like,
give me the Stinger, Darby Allin versus not the Hardy Boys. I want Broken Matt Hardy
And Brother Nero.
and I want Brother Nero.
Let's do it.
And I just want to just give me Final Deletion, give me
Give me all the cinematics.
Let's get weird.
Just promo on promo on promo on weird shit. Mower of lawns.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Give it to me.
Give me-
AEW.
Give me the crow sting back.
Oh, everything. I need
Listen.
it all. Darby, like, body bag getting drugged, like, from the thing.
All
like,
of that.
All that.
This is a perfect time to pivot into this. The return of Jeff Hardy.
Yo, Hogan must pose and Hardy must dance.
Yeah.
Are like the thing.
Here's one thing I love about AEW. They just know when secrets are the worst kept secrets, and they don't care, right? They're like, yeah, Jeff Hardy's coming back. So as the beating is happening, I'm like, well, where's the music? And then they hit the actual Hardy Boys music, which is stock music, which a lot of people didn't know that AEW could easily just attain the rights to. You hear the music, Hardy sees his brother getting choked out. Is so elated, he gets to the top of the ramp, and immediately
It just hits the.
he couldn't help himself.
Are you good?
Yeah. Sorry, Matt.
1 second, buddy.
This is what we call getting our shit in, right? Like, he was like, I'm going to get this. Because he was so elated at the pop, he just couldn't contain himself. Because there's no way.
Autopilot.
Yeah, there was no way somebody was like, so, Jeff, when you hit the ring, you must dance. Jeff was like, this is just what I do, baby.
Mid-run.
I said, yo, save your brother, bro. Like, what are you
Oh, my
doing?
God.
Save your brother. He was like, I'll get to him.
Muscle memory is a
which he
mofo.
did. Which he
He
did.
but
You know, it just took him. Yo, he's got to dance.
he had to dance.
He's got to let the
Something about that
people
music.
know.
Yes, he couldn't help it.
If we hit that music right now,
Jeff might come in
if
here.
Brian hit the music from the booth right now, we'd all break out in the dance. It's just the music.
Yo, but if you watch it again, right? Jeff is in like full sprint as he comes out,
Stop.
and he hits the ramp. He's like, "Is that my music?" boom, 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 boom. I said, "Yo, your brother's getting choked. Your brother.
Yo.
It don't take much long for oxygen to leave the brain when he's getting choked out. You're not gonna make it, bro.
Whatever. Like, he hits his cue. Everything. If you want to know what WWE training does to you,
That should have.
once your cue hits, no matter what happens, once that cue hits in your music, boom, boom, you got to dance.
It's like he didn't even think about it.
that
His
shit could
body
be-
just reacted.
Yo,
That-
Jeff could be chilling.
That was like Tourette's
He
syndrome.
could show up to someone's funeral. He's about to give the eulogies, real proper. Someone plays the music and the cue hits. Boom, boom, just start to dance. It doesn't matter where he is. He is trained in WWE brain to hit the dance
Yo,
when that cue hits in the music.
Yo, I hollered. I screamed.
Oh, my
that
God.
might be wrestling meme of the year.
Dude.
If this doesn't become the next wrestling TikTok trend, what are we doing? If we just don't walk up on our friends randomly and just play the music in random places, like super inappropriate. Like, you're just chilling in a hospital lobby, and you're like, man, I hope that person makes it. And it's just everyone. And you just come up and play the music, and your friend just got to just hit it out for the TikTok. Like, come on, what are you doing?
That
Oh gosh.
Oh, we're gonna-
we
next
can't.
show.
I don't know if we have the stock music
Yeah,
license
that's-
for it, but
yeah.
we're gonna work on
We're
this.
going to figure it out.
We're gonna work
uh,
on this.
that-
We're gonna work on this.
boy, I screamed. I'm so that brought me to tears because I watched this so many times. I was like, I can't believe this fool just stopped to dance.
Can you imagine if that was how they like built a feud? It's like,
Oh, my
but
God.
then Matt Hardy was choked out because his brother couldn't stop dancing. And then it's another Hardy on Hardy combat because you didn't save me, Jeff, because you were too busy boogieing to our music that we've had for so long.
That was such.
That's
It brought tears to my eyes.
That-
I could cry now.
that was the one.
That's
And once again,
amazing.
Jeff Hardy, if he's happy in AEW, people are like, oh, he ran from the grind. No, he didn't.
No.
He's with his brother.
Yeah.
This is probably it for the Hardy Boys.
It's the
This
Hardys.
is the last run they want. They had their pop in WWE. They had everything. Like, it didn't work.
They've done everything.
Yeah.
The fact that they came back to WWE is such a massive pop at that WrestleMania.
Yep.
And
That's all
yeah,
they
it
needed.
fizzled out. Whatever.
Whatever.
They had it, but now it's like, all right,
They're an
let's complete this-
institution.
Yeah, let's complete this journey. We're back with the Young Bucks. We can work Red Dragon.
Mhm.
We can work LAX. But there's a lot of shit we can do to close out our
Ton.
careers.
And honestly, Matt and Jeff, with all the mileage on their bodies, should be tag team
Yeah.
wrestlers.
Matt
Like, it's
Matt,
cool to
Matt
not
needs
be
Jeff.
singles
Jeff
anymore.
needs Matt.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
so-
But, that's all. Match was
Oh.
great. Whatever. Sting, dive. Yes. But
Yeah.
I just can't get Jeff Hardy.
Oh, my
having
cheeks
to
hurt.
dance.
I'm laughing right now.
I must dance. Remember King Beef from Martin? Do you remember King
Yeah.
Beef? King Beef used to walk in, ladies, I'd like to rock each and every one of your worlds, but first I must dance. And every time he danced, people were like, go King Beef, go King Beef. That Jeff Hardy is King Beef.
Oh, Someone's gonna leave that GIF under our show.
Yes. Somebody has to find King
Oh.
B. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm
Someone's
talking
got
about.
to
King
give
B.
us and then Jeff Hardy. Just
Yes.
all
Oh
of us
my
going.
God.
Oh, incredible.
When people come here for Double or Nothing, we're gonna be like recording our wrestling shows in here. Our listeners are gonna
Hardy
be
drop.
outside the glass,
Oh,
and they're just gonna start doing the Hardy.
I'm already sure, like, yes,
Oh.
we're going ahead of ourselves, but Double or Nothing's in May. I'm trying to get something set up where we have AEW talent flowing through here like the entire week. That's what I'm working on right now.
That's what we want.
If I can just get Jeff Hardy.
Yo, oh, we all got to do the dance.
Yes.
That's that day. I don't know. Listen, we got to get somebody on the phone. We got to call corporate here at Blue Wire. We need to license like 20 seconds of that music. I think it's free if we use it for under 30. We're just going to hit it, and we just got to hit the same moment with Jeff on camera.
That's all I want. That's all I want.
right.
Anyway,
I just got to do the Hardy dance.
Paige
And-
Cole.
Main event, Hangman Page versus Adam Cole. Thought it was good. I really liked the match.
I thought so.
Halo gear.
This yes,
Oh,
by Johnny
incredible.
Davenport,
Yeah.
my man. Johnny wasn't even watching the match, and I had texted him. I was like, "You did this?" And he was like, "How'd it look?" And I was like, "It looks great." He was like, "He's such a Halo mark." And then he watched the match later. But this pay-per-view was already running long, and it's one of the few cases where there's too much of a good thing, right? Where you're like, "Man, this is long, but it's really good." They only give us pay-per-views quarterly, so it's like, I'll deal with it. The crowd saved this match. Like, this match could have been dead in the water, not because it was a bad match, because the crowd was exhausted.
Yep.
Instead, let's go, Adam. Adam sucks.
Big over for Adams around the world.
That was the fact that the crowd was into this match, and I'm sure, I don't know if anybody asked Paige this afterwards, but I know for them, they had to be thinking, man, this is a long night. I wonder how this crowd's going to be. And the crowd ended up being hot. I think it helped them deliver. This was a really good match. This was, we know who Adam Cole is.
Yeah.
Dare we say it was an NXT main event?
Yeah, absolutely. Near falls.
Takeover main event, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I didn't like about this match, I didn't need the interference.
I didn't need it.
I
but
get why
got
it was there.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it like, I don't know what we were doing with the interference exactly. It was like a lot of like, here's Red
It's
Dragon.
almost
Who
like
decided?
they just kind of have to be there because Adam Cole is
Yeah, I didn't need it, but yet and still, like the super kicks, the everything, the buckshot into the super
Buckshot,
kick,
yeah.
and pulling down the knee pad. Like, again, we talked about this off air. Excalibur is so good on commentary.
Oh, yeah.
What are they lowering the boom now? It's not the last shot, but he got the near fall, and Excalibur immediately says he didn't pull it on his knee pad.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, you're right. Whether it was planned or not, Excalibur spotted it, called it out,
Yep.
and then
Add so much to the match.
yeah, it was a really good match. Classic? No, but I thought this was a great main event.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree.
I'm just happy to keep donating my gimmick to Adam Cole.
Yeah, it did what it was supposed to do. And that's all I can ask from that, right? Like, it did what it was supposed to do. Cole didn't need to win.
No.
They didn't make him
Nope.
win. Now, if it's Punk versus Page in
That's-
Vegas, that's going to
I
be
think it's Punk and Page.
nuclear.
I'm calling it now. Calling it out, Punk and Page.
That's going
Yeah,
to be
I feel like that's gotta
insane.
happen. That's
So I'm sure, and we think about surprises. Like, they're going to have debuts, like at least 3-4 big debuts.
That might
during
be the
show.
Cesaro debut.
Might be Cesaro,
Might
might be
be
Gargano,
Ember Moon.
might
Could
be
be
Ember
anybody.
Moon. Like, we're going to get some new faces there because they love doing that in Vegas. So I can't wait. This
Swerve sign
Swerve had a good match this week
with Tony Nese. And
Yeah.
everybody's like, what's Tony Nese doing here? That's why. He gives
Yep.
you really good matches.
all the time.
Another
And the guy just likes
another
wrestling.
Corner Rumble participant. Way to go, Swerve.
Yeah.
One thing before we get out of here. Why is Dolph Ziggler NXT champion?
Because Braun Breaker
We don't
can't
got enough
stay in
time,
NXT for forever. Vince saw. I think it was we were having a conversation of it. Vince saw him once. That's my guy,
That's it.
and that's no longer need NXT championship for that. There goes Braun Breaker, Braun Steiner.
All right.
Please just turn him Steiner.
Well, I mean,
You want to change names, Vince.
listen.
We went to Butch. That makes no sense.
There's
Okay.
a 33 and a third chance his name changes. Okay.
Listen, I've saw people question like, why are you upset that they change wrestlers' names all the time? Yeah, wrestlers outside the company.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne's been with the WWE for 5 years.
Well, Trips didn't change
Butch.
anyone's names. So that's
Look, he was NXT UK champion. He was tag team champion with Riddle. He worked Survivor Series in 2019 against Cole. WWE actively promotes NXT. It's not like NXT lives in a silo and WWE acts like they don't know who they are.
It lives in a siloed event.
Yeah. But then he's like, Butch? And people are like, you're going to get over it. And I'm like, that's not the point.
I would have been better with Butch Dunn. Give him a last name.
Yeah.
No one's going to be a main event guy under the name Butch. Like, it's just not happening. You've already capped his ceiling. Like, Butch Dunn is all right. Just try out a last name. You can always remove it. As we've seen with Riddle, or first name, or we've seen with Langston. Like, you can get rid of it later. Cesaro had a last name for a second?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that was.
Antonio Cesaro.
Oh, it's the first name. Yeah. It was Antonio Cesaro. Yeah, they got rid of that. Like, cool. You can always remove it later. Give the man a chance to be Butch Dunn. And that still sounds like a hooligan.
It's also such a bad name for like a ring announcer to say. Like,
Yeah.
like you don't have like a
Butch.
John Moxley. No, you just have Butch.
Very flat.
That's it. No follow-up.
Yeah, it's no good. Like I saw people just like, oh, it's okay. You say Dewdrop. No, I don't. I still call her Piper Niven because Dewdrop is such a dumb name. It's stupid.
Yep.
But yes, Dolph Ziggler's NXT champion. I was about to come on the show before that particular match, and I was like, you know what? I can see what 2.0 does well. There's certain things they do well, but then they put the title on Dolph, and people are going to say, well, it's because Braun's going to get his run or whatever. I don't care. Like, Stand and Deliver is going to be before WrestleMania. What a weird night, day one to put it on. Whatever. Anyway, we'll talk more WrestleMania in the coming weeks because I feel like we could have a wrestling show almost every week because we're heading into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And there's no real big boxing or MMA shows. Like, we can kind of bunch them together.
Yeah. No, boxing, this is still the cool down until it takes
So
off
April.
after Mania. And it gets insane with the schedule.
Yes.
And then MMA as well. Like, the pay-per-views are sticking out. Next week is UFC London. So that's going to be a pretty big thing. But we can still combine that with the fights that are going on next week, the boxing matches. So the next one will probably be a combined show of the two as we start on our road to WrestleMania and really talking more AEW, talking about promotions like GCW, and they're gearing up for their shows. I'm sure maybe we'll have like an entire show talking about like the indie stuff of that week and like the build and how everyone's like crushing on different indies, and Terminus is still rocking, and it's good to see. It's good to see that everyone's out here thriving, and pro wrestling is good. You know, for those who are open-minded enough to go out there and enjoy all of it. Not the WWE tryhards who are like, it's this or nothing, and I love Butch. Like, not those guys. Not the people who think everything AEW does is gold and giving everything an 8-star match. Like, it's okay. They're really good. Like, you don't have to hype it up more
when
than
in doubt, no matter what's happening in the landscape, just make like Jeff Hardy and dance.
People listening like, what are they doing?
Yeah, people listening are like, yo, these guys are clowns.
there it is. He's doing it.
These guys are clowns.
Oh, no, that's the old one. We can't license that.
Got us. Time to go home.
Yeah, we're having too much fun dancing. No, we appreciate everyone for sticking with us. A longer show than we thought, but that happens all the time when we talk pro wrestling. So we appreciate you guys. I know you guys like these pro wrestling shows. We're going to have a ton of them on our road through WrestleMania.
And our road to Double to Nothing.
Yes. So it's going to be a fun ride. In the meantime, follow us on social media at Corner Podcast _ on Twitter, at Corner Club for Life on Instagram. Check out these shows in beautiful 4K.
Oh, don't
on
say
YouTube.
4K. Don't.
Is it not 4K?
It's not 4K. No.
1080p?
It's 1080p. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
beautiful 1080p.
Thank
Yeah, there you go.
you. Yeah,
Well,
we
we're not
can't
in
be false
4K yet.
advertising out here. We can't be false.
All right, so it is 1080p.
Yeah.
It's better than 720p.
It sure is.
Like, our quality's pretty
I mean,
damn
it's
good.
pretty good.
Yeah,
These lights are pretty good too.
Brian's taking care of us in there.
He sure is.
Yes. He, in fact, is dressed like Butch. With that hat curly. Like, if you look at there, Pete Dunne showed up exactly dressed like Brian this past week on SmackDown. It's all right, Brian. I love you.
Hey, Pete Dunne's awesome. Butch, no. But
not
Pete
so
Dunne
much.
is man.
Oh, man. I would have took Brian Dunne. I would have took
There you go.
anything at this point. We appreciate you all. Make sure you guys stay safe. Can't wait to see everyone. If you guys are out here in Vegas, stop by Blue Wire Studios here at the Wynn Resort. Nothing but fun happening. But for now, we got to dance out of here. Hit the Hardy music.
Peace.
Oh, you getting choked out?
Oh, let me go see my brother now. I'm out.
Are you dead?